Okay. And we're live. Gavin's acting like if I get a recording without his way of getting a recording.
That's bad recording.
That's
the
dumb way. Oh, it's the dumb way. The way it gets it to work quicker. It's the dumb way. If it's so dumb, then why do you still have it activated?
For when we're doing like other things, like travel videos.
Oh, yeah. When's that? Like 6 months after winter break?
Oh, am I going to
You can't turn it off?
go into settings and turn it off every time?
Well, why not just do that every time then?
Because if you hit the button, then it turns it off and it's annoying.
Well, I'm not going to hit the button again.
Trust me, Garrett, it's better my way.
It records the same.
Stop
It
fucking
literally
arguing.
records the same.
Starting the
It
podcast
starts
with a
recording.
twin banter.
Moving on. Anyways, our guest this week is Gavin. What's your last name, Gavin?
It's McIntyre.
Gavin McIntyre.
That's a made-up last name,
It's
dude.
not a made-up last name.
You just
Dude, I
made
had
that
people-
shit
your
up.
stage name.
I had people during interviews be like, "Oh, McIntyre, that's a hell of a name." It's like,
McIntyre.
I guess they've never heard of Ireland or I don't know what this.
Someone calls me right now.
So it's a little awkward because I was supposed to be the only Gavin on this podcast
I feel like you were supposed to be the only Gavin in the country.
in Korea.
Yeah.
I think I was, yeah. You messed it up, man. This is weird now.
I've only
But
met one other Gavin before, and
and he's dead now.
yeah, well, you beat me
I had to
it,
kill
so
him, you know?
I'm glad I didn't have to say it. Someone else said it, so
Those
Uh,
are your words.
I feel less guilty.
Let's cut these cigars.
I already
Light
cut
these
mine.
cigars. All right. So, Gavin, is this your first cigar?
I mean, I've had shitty cigars,
So, yeah.
Okay. So,
but yeah,
we'll
so this
we'll
is
just
first
credit this as your
first cigar that's worth talking about.
All right, so you're smoking the Brick House. It's a classic. The main thing to keep in mind, you could have yours.
All right.
The main thing to keep in mind on these, notice how that it's not a point. This is like a traditional way of capping a cigar. So if you look very closely, you'll see that there's a couple caps. Usually there's two. If it's like a cheaper cigar, there'll be one. And if it's like they're trying to be really fancy, there'll be three.
Right.
But so you'll see some people, they take these guillotine cutters and they fucking make a fool of themselves because they cut way too much off. They cut like that much off. And the problem with that is you cut both caps off and then the wrapper leaf is likely
Starts to
to
unwind.
unravel.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to look closely, find where one cap ends and where the other cap starts, and you want to cut somewhere in between those. You don't
Okay.
want to cut off both. If you cut off both, it's going to unravel. So I'm looking here.
You're going to have a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. Also, like you don't need to cut. You don't need a big hole. Unless the cigar is
You hear
poorly.
that, guys? You don't need a big hole.
Yeah, you don't. Like unless the cigar is packed poorly, even a slight hole, like just a little tiny hole on the end, should be enough.
For example, Winston Churchill, he never used a cutter. He would only prick a hole in the cap with a long
So you don't push
match.
you down.
Yeah, so if you just poke a hole into the cap,
So if I'm looking
it
here,
should work.
I've got
it's
one
packed well.
real shallow cap right here.
Yeah.
Right. And then it looks like the next cap up is way
Yeah.
further. So just
Yeah.
anywhere in this range right here.
Yeah.
Essentially.
You could cut the top cap off. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, higher up. You could shave.
That's
That
fine.
good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I like to shave not even the first cap off. If you see mine, like I still have the first cap
You
on.
still have a yeah. I usually take off the least amount as possible, but as long
Yeah.
as you have some of that second cap on, you should be fine.
I'm gonna go just past the first cap.
Yeah,
I guess.
and then just really just chop it. Yeah, if you these are quality
Cutters.
good cutters, so they're pretty sharp. So it's not that big of a deal. But if you go slow, you're just
gonna
gonna
pull the
tear
leaves
it.
apart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
tear
want to tear it. So yeah, let's light up. I got some matches. I got my soft flame. Did you bring lighter, Gavin?
Nope.
Okay, so here I'll let Gavin use my lighter.
I already
Which
lit
one?
mine.
Oh, you already lit yours. Okay. So I'll show you the lift arm lighter. What is it? So this one, the gas is going. You have to roll the wheel that way.
Okay.
If you go the other way, it's fucked. So what I normally do is I toast it This is what everyone does. I don't say I say me, but this is what everyone does.
This is Garrett's personal technique that
yeah,
no one has ever done
Yeah,
before
I
except for him.
invented this.
Actually, not everybody does it. Some people just puff on it for a really long time.
Okay, well, those
Fucking
people
animals.
are amateurs.
I would say those people are doing it.
So what you want to what
Not the
you
best
want to
way.
do, because the most important thing about lighting a cigar is that you light it evenly, and because you're dealing with a big surface area in front of the cigar,
It's a
you
technical
wanna,
term.
Yeah, you want to lightly toast all of it, so that when you more aggressively go to light it, it's all like prepped.
Primed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like kind of prepped to take the flame quickly. So I lightly kind of go over all of it at an angle. You don't want to go over to the bottom or
Right.
go like
Right,
that,
right.
and then.
Someone's giving us a lot of love on Insta. Look at all those hearts.
It's a lot of hearts.
It's a lot of hearts. Someone likes cigars or
Or us.
likes the Gavin on
It's the
double,
Gavin- it's the
double
Gavin
the Gavin on
action.
Garrett
Yeah.
action going on here. Garrett's got a double Gavin twin sandwich.
I made
Yeah,
sure
it's Gavin
we
sandwich.
needed a Garrett between the Gavins.
Yeah. It'd be
It's
weird if it
important.
was Gavin and Garrett's hanging
That'd be-
out.
That would be just way too much. It's kind of a Highlander thing. We can
So
only
when
do
you puff it, make sure you only puff with your cheeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't inhale it. And then also rotate it as you puff it, and then when you're done, blow on the tip. See if when you blow on it, it'll all be bright cherry. If there's any black spots, you know that part's not
Cold
lit,
spot,
and
yeah.
so you need to keep going at it.
Okay.
So lift it up, go that way.
I was once told that you only light a good cigar with a wooden match. Is that horseshit?
That's stupid.
it's
Yeah.
horseshit.
Sounds like horseshit.
Yeah, we all saw Hellboy. Yeah.
Was that where it
It's
was
from
from? I
fucking
never
Hellboy.
could remember where it was from.
I mean, you could light with a match. I mean, that's why we do have matches, but
but you're not gonna like.
it's not
It's
like
not gonna be bad for it.
it's
if you
not going to
use
be
a
like, oh my
gas
god.
powered-
Well, it's not gas powered. These are butane lighters. So butane is odorless and tasteless. What is
Ah.
it? These matches, you can light with these matches, but this, whatever this is, sulfurous or some shit.
Phosphorus.
Sulfur. Yeah, this will leave a flavor on the cigar. So if you're going to use a match, burn this off,
and then use the
and
wood
then
of the
use
match.
just the
And then-
wood. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not going to like make a okay cigar taste phenomenal, and that's not going
Right.
to turn a good cigar into like a great cigar. Like the cigar is going to be good.
Can it
or
turn a good
bad.
cigar into an okay cigar?
It's just going to light it. That's all it's
so
going
that
to
makes a
do.
lot of sense. I mean, I feel like past the first centimeter, you're not going to taste even.
Like
no
you
matter
might
what.
get a teeny little bit of
Right.
like the cedar from the matchstick like on like one draw, but that's not going to change the whole flavor profile of the whole
Right,
cigar in a
right, that
better
makes
way.
sense.
So
All right. Are you
So-
a lefty? I saw you.
I
You're
am
this
a
way.
lefty, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
shit,
lefty.
look
yeah,
at
you can give him as much shit
Are
as
you a
he
lefty?
deserves. No, I'm alrighty, as
Well,
you should
shit,
be.
all right, we know who the good twin is. All right.
One of my students' moms, like one of my students was writing with her right hand, and then I noticed she was writing with her left hand, and then she was going back with her right hand, and I was like, "Whoa, are you right-handed or left-handed?" And like she didn't speak like any English, so she didn't know, and I was like, "Here, just write with your left hand," because I think that's what she wanted to do naturally.
I'm a teacher. Let me teach you how to write, Mom.
I was like, no, I was like, just write with your left hand because it seemed like that's what she wanted to do naturally. But then her mom came in the next day into the classroom and was like, can you teach her and only let her write with her right hand? I was like,
What?
but like she's left-handed. Like every time I'm not looking, she like is writing with her left hand, and then when I look at her, she's like tries to do it with her right, and I was like, no, it's okay. She's like, no, I want her to know how to write with her right hand. I was like, I mean, you're the mom. I guess I kind of have to do what you say, but like,
looking good and toasted.
does it really matter?
Yeah, and then you just puff slow but long draws, and then just rotate it. It's not like you're gonna fuck it up if you do it wrong. It's not too big of a deal.
First time cigar smoker, ladies and gentlemen. History is being made.
Most people are.
The history of Gavin. What's your last name again?
McIntyre.
McIntyre.
Is there
Gavin
another
McIntyre.
famous McIntyre.
I don't know. There's a Macintosh. Never heard of a McIntyre.
Who's the guy that sang Thrift Shop?
That's
Macklemore.
Macklemore.
Macklemore. Okay, that's
Yeah.
different. You're almost there.
So I'm smoking a Arturo Fuente Gran Reserva. The problem is there's like a bunch of Arturo Fuente Gran Reserva.
It's black spot.
I'm
at the top.
s- and they
Should we
all
light-
have the
was that at
exact
the top
same-
or at the bottom to get that lit.
Probably the bottom.
Yeah. The problem with Arturo Fuentes
There you go.
is they all have the same bands.
Yeah, just you can go ahead and put the flame right on that. Yeah, there you go. Just blow on it. That's enough. There you go.
Yeah, you're
All
good.
right. Close it. Shazam.
Garrett, have you noticed this?
Hmm.
Like all Arturo Fuente cigars have like a very similar looking band.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you go on their website, they've got like a million blends.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I try to do a cigar review and I'm like, have I smoked this before? I don't know. Because I've smoked several Arturo Fuentes and they all have the same bands. So it's confusing as fuck. But they all taste good. But I'm like, I'm trying to do a cigar review. I'm like,
Yeah.
did I smoke this already? I don't know.
That's what I was trying to figure out with the CAO Brazilias. Like when I was ordering 5-packs off online, what is it? I was noticing that if you go to like CAO Brasilia, I thought that was just one blend. They have multiple CAO Brasilia blends. And I'm like, well, which one did I like? You know what I mean? They all have the exact same band. They're all called CAO Brasilias.
Yeah,
If there's like the CAO Brasilia Amazon, the CAO Brasilia this, the CAO Brasilia that, but all the bands look the same.
Well, the Amazon has a different band. I don't know if it's
Does
called
it?
the Amazon is that doesn't say anything. It's just like tobacco leaves 3 rolled into like a ring, 3 rings.
Well, maybe there's a CAO Brasilia Amazon that has the same Brasilia band. Maybe it had a
Interesting.
slightly different name, but
Well, maybe they just had one picture for multiple cigars.
no, I
'cause
remember.
they failed.
No, or maybe that. Yeah, I don't know, but
because
it
the
was
Amazon
confusing.
the Amazon looks totally different.
Huh.
All right, guide me here, boys. What am I looking for in terms of flavor here? Like, are there little different things I should be looking for, trying to pick up?
You gave an accurate profile on the Brick House more than I did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I did a review on the Brick House, but that was like a year ago, or 7 or 8 months ago. I don't remember exactly what it tastes like. But like, basically, I wouldn't worry about the flavor so much. I would just make sure you're not holding your breath. That's a huge mistake. Is like people think when they use their lips to puff with just their mouth, they don't breathe through their nose.
Right.
So like, I'll do it right now. So check it out. I was breathing through my nose, but I was only puffing with my mouth, right? I didn't inhale any smoke. If I did, I would be coughing all over the place. So you could just breathe naturally through your nose and puff on the cigar
makes
without
sense.
inhaling. And when you do that, you're going to get more flavor because you're not closing off your sinuses, which is going to allow you to, taste all the flavors.
Makes sense.
And the aromas too, because there's a lot of, dude, I don't know about you guys, but I know Garrett did this, but when you were a kid, did you ever smell cigars when you were a kid, Gavin?
Yeah, my dad smoked a lot of cigars.
Oh yeah, you told me that. So did you enjoy the smell of your dad's cigars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like because when Garrett and I were kids, I would smell a cigar and I'd be like, "Wow, that smells amazing." It was like incense to me. You know what I mean? I was like, "That smells so good."
My first reaction was just like, holy shit, that is a prominent smell. Like that's it. Like my first I was like, oh, that stinks, but like it wasn't like it stunk because it smelled bad. I mainly just didn't have a vocabulary to describe such a strong smell. Like I was like, that is such a bold and strong smell. I feel like I could smell that in a house like multiple hours after someone smoked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
I always liked the smell. I was always just like, it smells like some adult shit. Like,
yeah, that's
you
how
know
it
what I
was
mean?
for me.
Yeah.
Because my dad smoked them, and my dad. This is kind of like, sorry, cut myself off, but like spicy almost.
Yeah,
not
there's-
like spicy like food, but there's a bit of a spice to it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of cigars, that's a very common flavor. Is they'll have there's a difference. They'll have like a spice, but they'll also have like a pepper, and they're two different things.
Yeah, that
And
makes
there's
sense.
there's even a black pepper and a white pepper taste.
I mean, those are two distinct flavors.
Yeah.
Just
So
for- 'cause
you'll
I
you'll
cook,
get
so-
those. I mean, there's a lot of flavors you'll get from a cigar. You'll get. I mean, I could list them all, but it'd take forever. You can get like very sweet cigars to very spicy cigars, very like earthy, leathery, coffee. I've even had licorice in my cigar.
Interesting.
Really interesting.
Cocoa.
Says cocoa. Like a bake, like a
Oil.
like oily, buttery, and there's a difference between oily and buttery. There's a bunch of flavors you can get.
Also, you don't.
Graham cracker. That's one thing I really enjoy. Is every once in a while you get a graham cracker or a
Interesting.
cream, like
That's
a
pretty
creamy sweet graham cracker, mild. cigar with a cup of coffee in the morning is fucking phenomenal.
I'm
Yeah.
getting definitely, in terms of that spiciness, it's definitely more of a black pepper kind of, just you feel it in the back of your throat, bit of your sinus. And then like a wood cedar kind of.
Oh yeah, that's another common one.
Yeah. Also, the flavor will change usually depending on the cigar, but it'll change once you get a little bit into the cigar. Like on the first light, you usually get some different flavors. As you get into the middle towards the end, you'll get some variation on the flavors. Also, but the main thing is just to remember to not smoke too much. Like you could see, like I haven't puffed on this for 40 seconds or so. Also, you can leave the ash on for a while. It's not like cigarettes where you flick
Right.
the ash, because the ash would help keep it insulated and stay lit for longer.
Yeah, you don't want to puff on it too much. That's another common mistake. People see this humongous cigar, they're like, I don't want to be here all day, and they puff it too fast. If you puff on it too quickly, then the whole cigar will heat up. And if you heat up, then it's going to wash out all the flavors, and you're just going to get a hot tobacco nut
That
flavor.
makes sense,
Yeah. So you want to puff on it as little as possible. You just don't want the cherry to go out. So you want to puff on it as the least amount as you can without the cherry going out.
Just enough to keep it going.
Yeah. So you really got, like if you put your finger here, it shouldn't feel warm. If it does feel warm, then just take a little break. You know what I mean?
So, by the way, I'm smoking the Camacho 6-year aged and bourbon barrel finish aged. Gavin did a review on this on his Instagram. This is my first time smoking it.
It was awesome.
So far it's really bold, which and it's bold in like a unique way. So I like it so far. I'm catching a lot of smoke from everyone's. This is what happens every time. I'm in the middle between two cigars in the corner of a room. So we need to work on the ventilation a little bit. But what is it? I like this. I'm drinking I'm not drinking bourbon. I'm drinking Scotch whiskey, but with a barrel aged bourbon cigar. So it's quite a combo.
The thing that's interesting about that cigar is it's almost 100% American tobacco.
Yeah, you told me that earlier.
I told you that earlier.
That is interesting.
It's super rare that happens. Like I've been doing a lot of cigar reviews over the last year. I've never seen a single cigar that's like almost entirely American tobacco. Usually, I mean, it's very common for like an American wrapper, like a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. But besides that, like usually the filler and the binders come from.
Oh yeah, you're from Connecticut.
Oh, you're from Connecticut?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Well, the Connecticut broadleaf wrapper is awesome. It's
I've actually heard
it's
that
so
before
awesome that
from my
like
dad.
they make Connecticut broadleaf wrappers. Or I shouldn't say they make them, but they grow them not necessarily only in Connecticut. Like they'll take the seed from a Connecticut broadleaf tobacco plant and they'll like take it to Ecuador or to Costa Rica or wherever.
shit.
And so they'll say like a Connecticut broadleaf from
It's the only thing
Ecuador
worth talking about
or
from
whatever.
Connecticut.
Why hasn't Trump brought this up? They're taking our seed.
Taking our seed.
Taking our
That's
seed.
one way to put it.
But yeah.
Took our jabs.
Well, you can call your dad and be like, "Hey, Dad, smoking a cigar."
Pop.
You should also tell your dad about cigarbid.com. They are not sponsoring this podcast.
I was about to say, is that a sponsorship?
It's not a sponsorship. It's just a dope ass website that you can get cheap cigars at. Like we live in Korea, and oh my god, do I miss cigarbid.com. like you could
Cigarbid was pretty dope.
You could get cigars for so cheap off that website. Like so cheap, like half the price sometimes as the cigars that I can get in Korea.
No shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like eBay where you bid. You
Oh,
do bids
interesting.
on packs or cigar boxes and
Alright.
samplers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you catch some crazy deals. Like I haven't seen any Nika Libres on Absolute Cigars.
You seen any Nacho Libres?
No, I haven't.
Nacho
It's a good movie.
I fucking love that movie.
Dude, every once in a while that song gets stuck in my head. Like that's like the ending song.
What's so funny is like something, like if you were to play me that song by itself, I'd be like, why the fuck am I listening to this? And then if someone was trying to be like, no, this is gonna be like the epic song at the end of our movie. It's going to be like the finisher that really gets you emotionally invested in this. Like most of the time, this is just like a silly, like fucking gimmick movie where Jack Black is playing a Mexican. And that's like the gimmick.
And the whole time I'm wondering, like, how did this low budget movie get Jack Black?
Yeah. But then you're
Dude,
also
Jack
just
Black
like...
doesn't give a fuck. That's why.
Well, Jack Black's awesome.
I
He's awesome.
fucking love that guy.
He's cool. But it's like, all right, so this gimmick of a movie with Jack Black playing a Mexican, it's just a silly comedy. But then no, wait, but you think it's just a silly comedy. Then we're gonna play this song, and all of a sudden everyone's gonna really fucking care.
You know?
And I'd be like, what?
Everyone's going to put their phones down and they're going to freak out on anybody
On how
who does have a
epic
phone.
this movie is with this song. It'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
And
This song is ridiculous.
It's a silly wrestling climax, you know, like the conclusion, you know, the ending fight is a silly ass luchador battle.
If I were to make like a top 10 of like epic conclusions where like the conclusion scenes of a movie were like the most badass, Nacho Libre would have to be in the top 10 because like literally
It was pretty epic.
dude. The end of that movie, I was like almost like a fucking schoolgirl. Like, oh my god, it's so awesome. It's so good. When
You know,
he
I
fucking
feel
does
those-
the eagle and he flies through the air. I was like, yes.
You know, I felt those same emotions, but I wouldn't describe them as being a schoolgirl. I'd be like a fanboy.
Well, I just
Listen,
like,
bro, I'm not gay.
Clearly
bro.
you just
I'm
don't
not
like
gay.
Jack
I'm
Black
not-
enough
dude,
is what it
like,
is.
I'm just trying to let you know, man. Like, fucking, I'm not gay.
the
bro.
point
Question.
is I was on the edge of my chair, like being like, oh my god,
Yeah, no, it's
no
great.
way.
It's
Like,
fair.
I was
Like I
literally
said,
doing that shit.
I haven't
Get
seen that
from
movie.
A low budget Mexican wrestling
Yeah.
movie starring Jack Black. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
And
I-
everyone said that that Napoleon Dynamite was like the because this is from the same director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, it wasn't as good as Napoleon Dynamite. I fucking beg to differ. I think it was better than Napoleon
Yeah,
Dynamite.
I don't really like. I would rewatch Nacho Libre in a heartbeat. Yeah, I don't really care for.
I was never.
That
Napoleon
dance scene
Dynamite.
in Napoleon Dynamite is great, but it wasn't the fucking same as the conclusion of Jack Black, like fully embodying the eagle.
Well, there's just so many lines from that movie.
That's
just like
Sometimes.
go read some books.
I literally tell that to my kids,
I
my
know.
students.
I'll
Regularly.
never forget it.
I'm
go
just
read
like-
some books.
I'm like, oh, you getting some books? All right, go away,
go away.
read some books.
Read some books.
Sometimes a
And
man
that-
needs to wear stretchy pants.
Stretchy pants.
Hey, Chancho, give me some sweets.
I need some sweets.
Yeah. Or it's like, and that is a crazy lady.
And that is a crazy lady.
All right, let me interrupt you. I can't tell if the cherry is still lit on this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's time to take
I
the
can
ash
see
off.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
puff
No.
on it. Is there
If it's
smoke?
It's not. The smoke is like thinner and thinner every time.
Well, then it might be going out.
Why it look? Yeah,
It's
seems-
fine. It's
fine,
100% fine. Yeah. I think you're puffing on a little bit too fast.
Yeah.
That might be what it is.
No, I mean, I shouldn't say puffing on. I'm saying drawing,
Pulling,
like
yeah.
during the draw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing about cigars is it's totally chill.
Mm-hmm.
The
Everything-
the slower the better.
Yeah, everything is
Literally.
chill with a cigar. Like it makes any chill activity more chill, and as you're doing it, you just gotta fucking chill out.
That's exactly how I feel about hookah.
Mm-hmm. Hookah, it like forces you to chill.
Yeah, you have to. You're like you're gonna take deep
you-
breaths, and that's it.
You take a puff, and you're just like, oh fuck, I need to chill.
I need to
I need to lay back. For
Garrett and I are gonna give you a label for the high that you feel from a hookah that you're never gonna forget. We call it Metal Mario
Metal Mario.
because you know Metal Mario, right?
I know Mario.
Well, you know when he hits like the star, he's like,
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, then there's another thing where he hits like the metal thing and he becomes Metal Mario and he's heavy as fuck.
And he's silver.
Oh,
He's
right,
like
right,
silver.
right,
metallic
yeah.
Mario.
Yeah, he's metallic Mario. So, and then when you're in the water, you want to get that Metal Mario, so you go sink to the bottom and run, and it's much faster. Okay, well when you hit the hookah, you get Metal Mario, and you just feel heavy. You just sink into your chair.
Dude, I gotta level with you, man. I think you guys are just smoking hookah the wrong way. If that's
No,
the
dude, that's the
sensation you're
best
getting?
part. That's the
What?
best. You just get heavy.
I'm just like,
you're just
oh, I'm Metal Mario. I gotta
"Whoa,
lean
man."
back.
You just lean back and just like, Oh yeah,
right.
Metal Mario's taking me for a ride.
For a ride.
You don't. It's not like a hallucinogen. You don't see
No,
shit.
yeah.
You just feel really chill, a little bit heavier.
A little bit heavier.
You need to lean back.
You gotta chill and sit in your chair, and you feel like you just sink into your chair more. It's the best part of smoking hookah. You don't get that. That's what's so interesting about tobacco, is like they're so different. Like when I smoke a pipe, I get like a brain buzz.
Buzz, yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, but it's not like a brain buzz like from a cigar. From a cigar, I just feel chill when I smoke a
Mellow.
cigar.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but very rarely, do I get like that like snappy, like I gotta do something productive. But when I chew nicotine gum, I'm just like, okay,
It's ready to go.
brain is like firing on all cylinders. And sometimes when I smoke a pipe, I would say most of the time when I smoke a pipe, it's the same sensation as nicotine gum, where I'm like, okay, my brain's firing on all cylinders. Like I'll smoke a pipe and then I'll like study some Korean and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'm learning.
Interesting.
I'm learning all the Koreans right now.
Well, one of the all the Koreans.
All the Koreans. But like I don't get that from smoking a cigar.
That's fair. It's interesting because I mean, nicotine is it's a central nervous system stimulant, just like any meth or Adderall or any of that shit. But it's also a neurostimulant.
No wonder I like those so
Yeah,
much.
exactly. Well, no
Joke.
wonder I love meth. Meth.
That's a joke, Grandma. That's a joke.
It's
Got
a,
all my teeth.
just want to get these bees out. No, it's a nerve.
If I could just do something about the ants under my skin.
Ants
yeah,
on my
it's just
skin.
I
They're
saw-
the worst.
I saw a thing. It was like, what you want to do on different drugs. It was like nicotine. It was like, I'm gonna get something done. Cocaine. It was like, I'm gonna get everything done forever. Bees was like, I'm gonna get these. Or sorry, meth was like, I'm gonna get these bees out of my teeth.
I'm gonna get these bees out of my teeth and start fucking pulling them out. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna floss for 6 hours.
Oh man, that's hilarious. My girlfriend was weird as fuck the other day. My girlfriend sometimes just like gets in the drinking like mood and she just gets super wasted. And like the other day, like she says weird shit when she's drunk too. Like Garrett.
Didn't mean to pop that off.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, you're getting close.
That's like one time my girlfriend got drunk and she's just like, I want to kill the zombie. She's like, I want it, but like in Korea they don't have a Z sound, so they don't say zombies, they say zombie, like a J.
Zombie.
She's like, I want to kill the zombie, and she's like wanted to kill a zombie.
She literally took a swig. She's like, I want to kill the zombie.
Yeah, like, and she said it like almost to herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, what?
This was just a thought that was important for her to express.
Yeah. She was like, she gets weird like that. Like the other day, like not the other day, but like a couple weeks ago, we were drinking, and I could tell she was just like, I've been studying hard this week. She's taking a health and fitness nutrition class, and she's studying her ass off because she's got an exam actually tomorrow morning. And so she's studying her ass off every day.
Both have that spice to it. Sorry, totally interrupted you.
Yeah.
Continue.
So she's like, she wants to get her drink on because she's been studying so hard, and then she's like drinking like way more than me. I'm like, whoa, you should chill. And
Chill.
And then she was like, baby, I want to pull my teeth out. And I was like, what? She's just like, yeah, like I just want to like. I was like, take it easy, okay? Like, you got beautiful teeth, leave them in. Like,
There's an
what
amount
was in
of-
that beer? I know. I was like, what the fuck are you drinking? I've
There's an-
never felt that one from being drunk.
There's an amount you should slow down, and it's the fuck. You need to slow the fuck down.
She's like, I just want to pull my teeth out. I was like, what the fuck? This is out of like 100-pound, like thin
She
Korean
weighs like
girl.
105 pounds.
Yeah, she's
And
cute
that's
as
like
fuck,
on her heaviest day.
and she's got this super cutesy voice. Like, baby, I want to pull my teeth out. Like, what? You can't just say crazy shit in a cute way.
That's how they get away with it, though.
She didn't. For those who are wondering, she didn't pull her teeth out like a true
She
psychopath.
still has them.
She still got her teeth.
All of them.
Luckily,
Still got the bees in there.
But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's one thing I've always noticed about cigars. Like, I was like, man, can I just like smoke a cigar and then like kick ass at studying Korean? It's like, no. I gotta smoke a pipe.
Yeah, that's fair.
Smoking a pipe, I get a different buzz. And like I said, I've never felt Metal Mario from a cigar or a pipe or nicotine gum.
Dude, I gotta say this Metal Mario sensation you get from hookah is leaving me questioning your hookah.
It doesn't
Your
happen.
hookah
No, it doesn't happen
abilities.
all the time. It only happens when the hookah's hitting perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
And when
It's
you can
like-
take huge hits.
When you
I've
take
got-
huge hits and when the smoke's not too hot and when the smoke is like thick smoke.
I'm gonna stroke my own ego a bit for a second. I have friends who like they go to hookah bars and things, and every friend that I've had, I do this. I give them the premium experience. You know, I spend take extra time packing the bowls, take extra time with the foil, the coals, the whole nine. You know, there's ice in the base, all that shit. And every time I've had a friend who goes to hookah bars a lot,
Yeah.
come smoke hookah with me, they can't go to hookah bars anymore. They come back to me a week later. They're like, dude, I can't. Like, it's
Damn,
awful.
bro.
Now every time someone mentions a hookah bar, I'm like, dude, you're a loser.
All right, dude. Well, you.
So I'll have to.
you-
I'll have to
I
set
got
up for you
high
guys sometime.
expectations next time you pack a
Yeah, I mean,
bowl for hookah.
I'm
bro.
setting myself up for failure as
Yeah,
I
man.
tend to do. But
What if
we'll
I
see.
don't
We'll
feel
see.
Metal Mario? Then I'll be like,
Dude, I'm telling you, you might not. Because
Well,
I've
then-
never experienced this Metal Mario, but you might have a different.
maybe
you might
maybe
a
you
different
have maybe you
sensation.
have you just don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's
just don't
true.
describe
you
it.
just
true.
describe it the same way.
It's true.
But
also, yeah.
But once you feel that feeling and it's like, oh yeah, the Metal Mario is here. Once you label it that as you're feeling, you're like, oh yeah, that's the best.
That's
the
fair.
best way to label
Get
it.
that. So let me pull it full circle real quick to these the difference in the buzz, because so I've spent 4 years studying psychology. So if I ever want to do anything in psychology, I need to get a doctorate. So all I can do with it now is talk about
Just
it.
talk
so we're
about
gonna
it.
talk
So
about
Over a cigar.
it over a
There
cigar.
we go.
So neurostimulants. They're you got your central nervous system, which is just basically all your shit, your heart, your breathing, all that stuff. So most stimulants hit your central nervous system, get your heartbeat up, your blood flow up, and you got more oxygen going to your brain that way, so you feel more awake, you're more active. Neurostimulants don't hit your central nervous system, so you don't feel like hopped up. You know, your heart's not going, you're not breathing faster. But it hits your synaptic activity. You've got more, for lack of a better term, there's more electrical shocks going on in your head.
And we firing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you got these synapses firing. And we don't have a lot of things we know about. Is that a fingernail
It might
on the
be.
table? It's
It might be.
Ew.
gross. Okay.
Yucky. That's a fingernail.
Back
Garrett.
around. I'm
That's-
sorry.
Put
So
that
They
in.
say it's a fingernail. It might be a toenail.
What do you fucking clip your toes on top of your desk? Weirdo.
I usually
Standing up there.
You do a lot of yoga, don't
I
you?
usually close my eyes and stick my foot in there and just clip and then just go. It went in the trash can.
Yoga. See what it's doing to guys? Fucking weird.
So, dude, I fucking love yoga.
No, I do too, man.
But
Dude, I'll downward dog the shit out of this fucking yoga floor.
yoga board?
Yoga floor.
It's a fucking mat.
This is a yoga floor, my friend. It's been crescent.
What
Okay,
if
fair
what
enough.
if there's sexual tension like that during yoga class? Oh, you're downward dogging the fuck out of that. You just like
just a boner doing
Yeah.
like a
I should-
sun salutation.
I should do that with my girlfriend because on Sundays we're gonna start doing yoga classes. I got to start taking the yoga lingo, bring it into the bedroom. Just yo,
downward
baby,
doggy.
can you give me a
Namaste.
downward dog?
Deep in the root.
Give me a dirty downward dog.
Get deep in that root chakra.
You feel that? That's my chi.
just gonna unload
I'm
my
gonna
chi.
empower you with my chi.
Yeah.
All right. So, side
I'm gonna
note.
work on that while you guys are
Yeah,
talking. I'll
I
think of-
I gotta think of some shit about that. This is good.
I'm deeper in the world than you
Yeah,
as
yeah.
of the last few weeks.
Yeah. All right. Totally sidetracked from what you were saying. Gavin.
Neurostimulant?
Continue. Yeah.
Oh. So we only know about a couple things that do that. And one of them, all right, you guys know the movie Limitless?
Yeah. It's a great
Right.
fucking movie.
Great movie.
It's just like,
It's
all
great-
right, that's
great
a green light
idea.
for Adderall. It's just
Yeah.
all my college friends. They're
Well,
like, I
here's-
saw Limitless.
I saw
so-
Limitless. Here's the thing,
So-
though. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Adderall, central nervous system stimulant. Gets your heart going, all that shit. Adderall is basically meth. That's safer.
Medical grade meth.
Medical grade meth, exactly. Now, what they're talking about in Limitless is based on a real drug. It's called modafinil. I've been on that
I've
drug.
heard of that.
Yeah.
I've been prescribed that drug, and let me tell you, it is an interesting experience. It's like the way he talks about, you're not going to start doing fucking trigonometry in your head while you're
And
sleeping.
learning languages by casually
overhearing
conversations.
But the way he described it is like you're not jittery, you're not buzzed, you're just super clear. Could not be more accurate. It's like it's almost, on a smoggy day here. I don't know if anyone else is watching has lived in a city or a city in Asia.
Specifically, a city next to China.
Next to China, yeah.
Fucking,
If you're
which is what
China
Korea
adjacent, yeah.
That is exactly what Korea is. It is like just this country next to China, and it sucks. Fucking China's smog drifts over. 50% of the air pollution comes from China
I feel like
in Korea.
that can't be true.
No, it is true, 100%. Koreans exaggerate. They think they somehow, I don't know why, but they somehow think that all the air pollution comes from
Okay,
China.
yeah, so
but it's like,
horseshit.
no, that's retarded. I mean, there's 20 million people living in Seoul. You think none of them produce anything? It's all from China?
Well, Korea is one of the number one, it might be the number one consumer of coal.
I think I heard, I don't know this, but one of my coworkers once told me the biggest coal mine in the world is in Korea.
It might be.
Which is weird because Korea is actually very pro environmental friendly shifting policies, both conservative and liberal parties. They both believe in global warming, which is not the case
That's
in
lovely.
America. Yeah. So that's what I was confused about. I was like to my girlfriend because the presidential election just took place.
Is there a winner yet?
Yeah. Like 2 days ago, there's the winner.
Who is
Yeah.
it?
There's that guy.
Moon
I can't.
Jae-in.
Fuck yeah, that's his name.
Moon Jae-in.
Yeah.
Number one?
Number one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
had a good
he's a
picture.
liberal dude. But yeah,
He's the liberal guy.
that's what
That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
basically that's the
Actually.
only thing I care about. Is I was like, okay, just vote for the person that like believes in global warming.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was like, they all believe in global warming. I was like, what?
Like that can't be right.
I was like, really? Even the conservatives? She's like, yeah.
Well, which one hates the Mexicans?
Does anyone want to build a wall?
You
Which
should
one-
vote for that one, right?
Which one's trying to close the borders so less raping Mexicans get in? Which one's grabbing pussies? Like
Are you telling me none of your political candidates
Have been
are
charged with
active
sexual assault?
pussy grabbers?
yeah, this is weird. I don't
Jesus
understand your
Christ.
politics here in
Yeah,
Korea.
your politics make no sense. What are you? Are you think
Which
you're,
one's
you're not
the
even
re-
a real democracy?
Which one's the reality star? Come on.
Which one sells steaks from his towers?
You see his ad?
Yeah,
Here at Trump, we're raising the stakes.
we make the
With
best
our
steaks.
steaks.
We make the best.
We have the
steaks.
best steaks. The greatest steaks.
And for the first time, you don't have to go to a 5-star hotel for the best steaks. You could just get them
When did-
in
why
the
did-
comfort of your own kitchen.
Apparently, Trump is just a dude from.
Yep,
Brooklyn.
this is
Like,
the only accent
no,
I do.
I'm from Brooklyn now.
My accent is like
President's
totally,
from Brooklyn now.
totally not Trump's accent, but like it's
This is the
I don't
only
know.
accent I could do that's not That's
That's
still
kind of
American.
Bernie.
That's
That's,
not-
more
that's-
Bernie.
That
than
is kind of Bernie.
That's more
Bernie's
Bernie
like,
than it is.
I
Trump.
have-
We need to. Shit. I used to be able to do a good Bernie accent.
Okay,
but now I
okay,
can't anymore.
Okay.
Okay. As what's his name
Yeah.
does. Okay. With the hands.
Moving on with our I'll work on that.
Sidetracking the fuck out of Gavin's story.
Getting to the point.
Shit.
Never.
I don't know
You're
if I
talking
have-
about
neurostimulant drugs,
modafinil.
I don't know if I have a good solid conclusion to this, but I
But
just gotta say, modafinil is fantastic.
Did
If
you
you guys
feel-
can find it, fucking put it in you.
Did you feel
That's
like
what Garrett says to the
rectally-
ladies, but
I mean,
that aside,
strippers put it in rectally? That's the better way.
tip them. Be a gentleman.
but
Right. And then you be a gentleman and put it in her as well.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
both of you study and ace that final.
yeah, just nail it. Just nail the final. That's
Ace
really
it.
what really matters here.
Yeah.
That's called cultural development.
Okay, so I'm 2 weeks away from starting a intensive Korean class, and I'm looking for every edge that I could possibly
I think we
get.
just covered a few.
Okay, well, but yeah, I don't know if I can get that in Korea. So this is my game plan. Okay, for one, it's in the morning. The classes, it's 4 hours a day. So most people are familiar, at least most people in America are familiar with taking Spanish or some language in university. It's usually an hour, 5 days a week. And I thought that was pretty intense when I was this college student. But I'm signing up for a intensive class, which is really intense. It's 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. So yeah, holy shit, that's a lot of fucking.
That's a lot.
That's
of
a lot of
language.
hours of language learning in 1 week. Much less. I'm gonna be doing this for a year. So
Jesus.
so my Korean
Christ.
skills better get fucking good. You know what I mean? But so this is what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna try and maximize my sleep. So Tim Ferriss, he's a firm believer in this like sleep tonic that I've been doing for the last couple weeks, and I think it somehow works. It's basically honey and apple cider vinegar. It's like a tablespoon of each in hot water or like a caffeine-free herbal tea or something.
Just a microdose
Microdose
of
of
opium.
I was
something.
just about to say. Just
right. Anyway, so like
For some reason, you just go right out.
I don't know what it is.
So-
but it works, you know.
No, for me, like I'd been doing this for 2 weeks, and I was kind of skeptical, but especially since like I didn't feel like I feel sleepy all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like feel like it knocked me out. But what I do feel is I feel like I got a deeper and better sleep. I still like I'll be in bed and I'll be like, man, I kind of having a hard time falling asleep. But in the morning, I feel like I'm like, man, I feel great. I feel like I slept like a deeper sleep. So I'm doing that. And I'm also I ordered some Alpha Brain, which is a nootropic. Do you know about nootropics?
How
Yeah.
How much is that? How much is Alpha Brain in Korea?
It's the same price.
Okay.
I just ordered it. You order it from onnit.com still. The Onnit can
They'll serve it.
they ship it here.
Yeah.
I ordered it and I got like the cheapest shipping fare. It was like $4.50.
It's amazing.
Okay.
But I mean, it's been like 3 weeks and I still haven't got it yet. So I mean, maybe it takes way longer to get it. So I'm still waiting for it. I just hope it gets here before.
Somebody is canoeing across the Pacific.
It's to give me my Alpha Brain. But Alpha Brain is a nootropic. If you don't know what a nootropic is, it's basically like a multivitamin for your brain. It makes your brain work better. And they've put it on. They've had like they've conducted like double-blind placebo experiments, and they came back positive, saying that this shit works. It's better than a placebo. They've done 2 studies like that, and I've actually taken Alpha Brain because you had it 3 or 4 years ago, and I only took 1 pill, and it definitely worked for me. So I'm gonna be doing that every day, as well as just a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Cup of coffee, Alpha Brain,
Yeah.
good sleep, and then if I still feel like my brain's not there, nicotine gum. That's like the slam dunk.
Well,
the
thing is,
gum.
nicotine works though. That's
Oh, I know
that's
it
the
does.
thing, like,
I know it does.
you know. So a couple things, as like I said, I paid for a psych degree. I love psychology. I don't get to use it. I do get to talk about it.
Yeah.
A few things. One with double-blind studies and things like that. 2 is actually super small in terms of clinical trials, but doesn't mean it's insignificant. So it sounds like it's got some decent science behind it.
Well, I've like I said, I've taken it before, and I felt like it worked. And I took it like 4 years ago, and I only took 1 pill, and I felt like it worked.
Here's the next thing.
So
The placebo effect is a real effect. It's the thing is like people think about placebo and they think, oh, you know,
So it's not real.
They think it's not real.
No,
But
it is
the thing
real.
is, placebo it actually affects things. Your brain can things that you believe. Your brain can change your body chemistry based on beliefs. So the placebo effect is actually a really real thing. It can actually physically change your body chemistry. So even if something doesn't actually the substance doesn't do anything, if it has a strong placebo effect, then it's doing something.
and it's doing something. Yeah. Well, that's interesting is when I took that 1 pill of Alpha Brain, which again, when I say I take it, it sounds like I'm taking a drug, but it's just vitamins. It's just really exotic vitamins. But like I took it after immediately saying like, "Hey Garrett, does this work?" And Garrett was like, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna buy another bottle. I don't think it works well that well." And then I took it.
I said, for me, when I took it, the most it wasn't like noticeable through the day that I could tell. What it was is I got like a free sample, and the problem is this: it wasn't that I thought that they weren't doing anything. Is that they were fairly expensive for hard to
Verify?
hard to get the benefits, like hard to feel the benefits tangibly. But one thing that I did notice is that I always had more exotic and vibrant and cohesive dreams.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
felt that too.
Yeah, it's like, and that was the first thing I noticed is I like you go from like, it's like every blue moon where you wake up and you're like, man, I had this crazy dream last night, and then like it was kind of like I took that pill and a couple times, but just even the first night and I wake up the next day, I'm just like, man, I had this crazy dream, and it took me a while to be like, wait, I am taking like nootropics for my brain. Nootropics.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so that's why all of a sudden I've had like a string of like vibrant dreams that I can remember that are cohesive. Like I'm sitting here in Korea, I'm not doing any exotic drugs. I'm eating and working out regularly. I'm in fairly good shape, except for on the weekends when I drink fairly heavily because I'm participating in Korean culture.
Just being respectful. Really,
Yeah, I'm trying to respect their culture by boozing heavily. But I rarely wake up and I'm like, man, that was an insane dream. But like after like literally just one pill, I have that in college, and I wake up the next day, I'm just like, holy shit! And like, not only did I have such a crazy dream, it was so crazy I want to tell people about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That doesn't just happen all the time. You know what I mean?
Something that's actually really good for that is melatonin. Have you ever heard of melatonin?
Yeah.
So
Melatonin you get from just sunlight, right?
Melanin you get
That's
from sunlight.
melanin.
Yeah,
What's melatonin?
Melatonin is actually you naturally produce it in your brain when lights go out, because obviously that's what happens when it's fucking nighttime. When lights go out, your brain starts to naturally produce it, and it's something that helps you. It's basically the opposite of a stimulant. It's not quite a depressant the way like alcohol is, but it'll slow you down. Slows down your mind, just slows down your central nervous system, helps you sleep. So you naturally produce it, but you can also get it from animals and other animals and plants. And you can get it super easily, super cheap. You can get it at Whole Foods for those of you back in the States. You can get it at fucking CVS these days.
You get it in Korea at a pharmacy?
Probably.
I'm gonna have to look in.
And it's helps you sleep
as a supplement.
as a supplement.
Oh,
yeah.
right. I've heard of
Helps
these.
you sleep.
I've heard
And
of this.
one of the things about melatonin is it gives you really vivid dreams. So if you're looking to have some cool dreams at the same time as you get a little bit more restful, deeper sleep, grab some melatonin. Don't take it for too long at the same time, just because if you've got this external supply, your body will start making a little less of it. So don't
Right.
take it for a month straight every night. But
Maybe take it like on a
Monday through
important
Friday or
day.
something?
yeah, I mean, well, no, it's not. It's nothing super heavy. Like you could take it every night for a couple weeks. But if you're taking it every night for a month or two, you can start to lower your natural count, which will go back up if you stop taking it.
It's kind of here, like I heard about taking echinacea. If you take echinacea when you feel like you're fighting a cold, it helps. But if you take echinacea like every single day, then it doesn't really do that for you.
All right, let me hit you with something that,
That's what I heard.
as I was saying, with placebo effect is legitimate effect.
Yep.
Echinacea. Studies have been done. Same thing with golden seal. Placebo effect. Which is not to say it doesn't help.
What
If
is
it
golden
helps you-
seal?
Golden seal is just a different. It's a root. I think it's a similar thing. People will take echinacea and golden seal to fight colds, but it's placebo. But it actually does boost your immune system because you believe
Because you
it,
believe it.
which is just crazy. Like the fact that you can believe something and that changes your body chemistry is fucking nuts.
But like it's not. It doesn't have any. It doesn't have any. It doesn't have any.
Measurable.
It doesn't have any benefits at all.
not compared to placebo.
Not. Interesting. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if it's healthy for you,
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing bad about it.
yeah. So if it's healthy for you, then it should. I mean, if the healthier you are, the better your immune system. So if it's healthy for you, it should help your immune system.
Yeah, I mean,
But like maybe
technically.
taking it when you're fighting a cold gives it a stronger placebo effect than if you just took it regularly.
Yeah, because I mean, when you take it when you're fighting a cold, you're looking for the effects.
You're looking for
like,
the
all
like,
right,
I need to
this
fight
shit
this
is gonna
cold.
help me now.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it's not like, oh, this is gonna maintain me. You're like, oh, I'm gonna notice this helping my cold,
Right.
And you do because it does.
Yeah, I get
Because you believe it. It's the same way. It's actually in a lot of Asian cultures where mental health isn't. Sorry if this is a bit of a drag.
No, it's not. No.
Where
Are you
mental
telling
health.
me the rhino horn I've been taking isn't actually helping my sex drive?
I was gonna say, you know, if you. Everyone gets
man.
a floppy wiener sometimes, dude.
Do not
It
want to take this
happens.
rhino horn, bro.
Dude, when I take this rhino horn,
I just get off knowing that a rhino died to get me this boner. I'm channeling the power of the rhino into my dick to fuck this fucking prostitute, man. It just gets me in the zone.
Now that's
Jokes,
a real
people.
effect. That's a real effect.
Jokes. We joke in here. We joke in this podcast. We don't do that.
yeah, we're joking.
totally.
We're joking.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
like
don't fuck
prostitution.
Oh shit! Wait, we're not talking.
That's
about fucking
bad. We don't like sex with chicks. Fuck.
Yeah.
Prostitution. I don't know if you know this. You're new to Korea, but prostitution is a rampant in all of Asia.
I would
say all of the world, but definitely in Asia.
So I was in Itaewon, and I was with my buddy, but also two girls that he works with, and we're looking for a bar, and they're like, I was like, there's a beer garden right there. That would be awesome because I love good beer. It's hard to find good beer, but they were like, no, we want to get plastered. We want soju.
Right, as you
So
do.
we're walking up and down this hill, trying to find a good place, and we're knocking on these doors, and there's a Korean girl with us who doesn't say anything until after the fact. You knock on this door, it's a black tinted door,
Yikes.
slides open.
Newbie.
It's exactly. Yeah. And it's just like five fine ladies sitting in mini dresses who just go no 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 no.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
It slams the door shut. And the Korean girl we're with, she was like, "Oh no, guys, those are hookers."
Why were they saying no to you?
Because
they're with a girl,
Yeah,
probably.
it was two girls who clearly. Yeah, it was. We very clearly had no idea what was going on at the time.
Yeah.
Because when I walk down that street, there's like,
They pop
they
out of those
pop out of the
doors like in a
fucking doors.
second, and they're just
Yeah.
like, "Hey, boys, come check it out." Yeah,
See,
they
notice
It's the rhino horn, dude. They notice it. It needs your
notice-
glow.
Yeah,
The
my
rhino-
notice how my reaction is like, what are these racist prostitutes? They don't like your white skin. Jesus, I'm gonna have a word with them.
I'm gonna use the restroom, gentlemen.
Yeah, but anyways,
You good? Yeah. All right.
moving on. What made you come to Korea, sir?
Well, shit. So, like I said, I love psychology, but I want to do either clinical work in psych wards or neuropsych work. Both of them require a PhD. That's a lot of fucking school and a lot of money. And but I knew that I want to experience other cultures. I want to travel. I would love to learn another language, which is going really poorly. Just because I just forget to study it, on my own. But
It's tough.
It's-
to do
yeah.
it. I'm like my New Year's resolution was to study a little bit every day, and I'm pretty good. Like I would say 9 days out of 10 in the last
that's
3 months.
way better than me.
But that's only like 30 minutes a day.
I average. I open the book while I'm loading into a game of fucking League of Legends because I hate myself, and
You should
then
play
the game
Heroes of the
starts and I
Storm,
close it.
sir. That's what I play.
I hate myself, but I like good games. Dude, let me convert you. Let me just ruin your life.
I played League plenty of times. I played
Okay.
probably about like maybe 30 games of League or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. No, my deal with League was the reason why I didn't immediately jump on the reason why I didn't jump on the bandwagon in the beginning was because it wasn't on Mac.
That's fair.
But
Took them too long. to do
yeah,
that.
but there was a time in college where I had on my Mac dual operating systems.
Okay.
And I
Hackintosh.
had a ton of friends that played League, so I played a few games. The problem with me though is it takes too long.
It does.
Like
It does.
Yeah, the game, like you're talking like the average game is like what, 40 minutes?
It's quicker nowadays because of the way the meta changes, but yeah, 30 to 40 minutes. It's definitely a time investment when you want to play.
Yeah,
That's one of the downsides.
So the thing that I like the most about Heroes is that Blizzard saw a lot of the drawbacks to the genre, the MOBA genre, when they came up with Heroes of the Storm.
Right. Yeah.
And so they challenged that. I also, from the jump, when we were in high school, a lot of our friends played Dota, and I was always just like, why is there only one map? Like, that doesn't make any sense to have only one map.
I want to restart it.
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't make any sense to have only one map. You know what I mean? And
For League.
well, I was like, why is there only one map? That doesn't make any sense. And in Heroes of the Storm, they have like 8 different maps. It constantly changes. And the cool thing is depending on the map, you're gonna change your roster. Like, certain heroes are better for certain maps. Also, like, anytime you're watching a League of Legends highlight, which League of Legends is the most popular esport in the world,
Especially in Korea.
especially in Korea. Yeah, Korea for sure is huge on League of Legends. Like, more people tune into the League of Legends finals or the World Cup,
Final,
whatever they call it, than the NBA finals.
Yeah, we had more viewership. The World Finals season 4 a couple years ago, which was in Korea, had higher viewership than the Super Bowl.
What?
Holy
Dude,
shit. I've been to 2 separate League of Legends events that sold out Madison Square Garden.
Holy shit.
2 of them, yeah.
Madison Square Garden. in
Madison Square
America.
Garden, and one of them was the
fucking
World
shit.
semifinals. So you had people from other countries flying in to see him.
Yeah.
But the other one was just North American finals, and it sold out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is huge, and I could see the appeal because one, it's a very strategic and team oriented game, 5 versus 5, all about cooperation and teamwork. But the thing about League specifically that I think is a drawback is, like, if you're ever watching like a League.
A stream.
If you're ever watching like a highlight reel of League of
yeah.
Legends, you're not going to be watching the times it took for me to walk back from base to your lane.
That's true.
You're not going to be watching the highlights of him detecting a sight ward. You know what I mean? You're not going to be watching the highlights of him getting that last hit on that minion gold neglect steal. You know what I mean?
So you understand some of the actual higher level.
Yeah, I played. Yeah,
higher level.
I've played like several games. I'm well aware of the genre, and I'm well aware of the whole evolution of the genre because I had plenty of friends who played Dota.
Right.
But the cool thing, what you tune into is the team fights.
Yeah.
You tune
or
into
like
the
the 1v1s.
the 1v1s or the team fights. And so the cool thing about Heroes that I think makes just perfect sense is that they got rid, instead of having to run back to lane all the time, what is it?
You get Hearthstone.
You get Hearthstone in League. Jesus, you're such a noob.
I'm a noob.
Yeah, you could teleport back to base in
casual.
in all the MOBAs. But the difference is in Heroes you have mounts. So
Yeah, true.
You could run back to the lanes. Also, many of the maps aren't as big depending on the map. Also, you have heroes on, like, for instance, some maps are bigger than others, and then you have heroes that, like, part of the appeal of that hero is they're more mobile. Like, they could fly across lane to lane, or they could burrow lane to lane.
You've got some of that in League.
Yeah. And League, they definitely do it, like, later in the game. You can pick up different items to make you run faster.
Right.
All that kind of shit.
There's also they've done a really good job of diversifying the champions and stuff you can pick. So, like,
Yeah, that's one thing they've done expertly well.
Yeah.
Is having such insane, like, they're constantly coming out. How many heroes do you think are
130 something.
Yeah, there's like 130 different heroes that you could play
The most
in
impressive
this one game,
thing,
and they all play differently.
yeah, is how different.
And they're
they
all
are.
still fairly balanced.
This isn't League. I mean,
This
League.
is League. This is
Wow.
League. Yeah.
130. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think Heroes right now has got like 50, something around there.
That's still even 50.
And they're
blows
coming
my
out,
mind.
and they're coming out with so many new. They're coming out with like a new one every like 3 weeks, and I'm just like, just chill.
That's how League was when it started. Now it's
Yeah.
one every couple of months. But what they've been doing is they've been going back and they've been taking whole classes of champions, like the dudes who want to dive team fights or the people who are, assassins. and they'll update a whole class at a time as like a major project.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been doing a phenomenal job of like making sure things are diversified, and you pick every champion for a specific reason as opposed to another one, which
Yeah.
you're really good about. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that keeps me with Heroes and what immediately drew me to it is one, you don't have to spend so much time memorizing all the items.
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
do have the same, and I have friends who'd be like, but then you lose so much of the complexity. The complexity gets my fucking dick hard.
You do.
They start
But-
low key
but here's the
jerking
thing.
off.
Here's the thing. In
Dude,
here,
I'll jerk off about item builds.
complexity
of the item build.
item that he went for the shoes of mysticism. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they love their item builds.
Fucking so true.
yeah, it's so true.
Like, I'm not even gonna try to deny that.
But what you do in Heroes, instead of having items, what you do is you have talent builds. And so another cool thing is in like League, you have to you spend so much time just running back to lane all the time, which is
True.
fucking annoying to me after playing Heroes. Whereas what you also have to, and you have to go back to base a lot just to buy new items. You don't have to go back to base just to heal up or get more mana.
And
or some
again,
shit.
as you know, high horse as it might sound, that does add like complexity to it.
Oh
where-
no, yeah, it's
But
a
it
it's a
definitely-
mechanic. It's a mechanic. So any mechanic will derive strategy.
Yeah. But it definitely makes it less accessible. You know, it's
And I have friends. I have a friend that is he's more of a Dota guy, but he plays Heroes too. And so whenever things aren't going his way in Heroes, he's just like, oh, I just wish we could play Dota. And I'm just like, why?
it's a different game.
And he's just like, well, because it's more competitive. I'm like, no, that's the wrong word. You mean complex. And he's just like, yeah, it's more complex. I'm just like, you say that every time you're getting your ass kicked. It's competitive enough in this game. Like you still have to memorize all the different talent builds, and there's multiple different ways. And one thing I like about Heroes is you get all of your abilities right from the jump.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
So except for your ultimate, you get your ultimate at 10.
One sec. Is this quieter or louder now? Because I feel like it was. It's a
That
little
it just
quieter.
depends on how far away from the mic you are. It doesn't matter the level of that.
Yeah.
But
Well, it was. This let me angle it up more. So
yeah, but
Well,
but anyways, I like the fact that not only are there 40 plus 50, I don't even know the number, but each hero has vastly different ways you can play them and completely different ultimate abilities. Like every hero has 2 different ultimate options.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So that and it's also just more fun from the beginning of the game because you have all your abilities. Instead of having to just fucking like just chill and slowly build your characters, slowly getting abilities. And there's heroes in leagues where it might be more time efficient to just build one ability quicker. So you'll go like 6 levels where you're only using one ability because that's the only ability you want to build quicker.
So let me hit you.
Boring.
Let me hit you with the flip side of that. Is when you're doing that, as you're building these abilities, you've got opportunities to abuse advantages you get. Like for instance, if you're, and again, this is the like, oh, he got that one last hit on that minion. It's a thing where like if you can deny someone one last hit, and you get one
That was
more.
just one drop, right?
It's just one drop. Just one. Let's call it one
1,
big
2,
drop.
20,
Let's
30.
call it one big drop. Yeah.
100, one drop.
I mean, it's all
One
just, it's
100
all
drop.
just one drop, really, right? If you can do that, say you can get level 2 before someone else, you ding 2, you level up one of your second abilities that allows you to do a combo where you can abuse that 3-second window where you've got that ability advantage.
Yeah.
And maybe that's like a movement ability. So you can dash in on someone, follow up on your first ability, and potentially win your entire lane off that.
Yeah.
So those are like, that's the flip side, but it's definitely less accessible. There's less instant gratification where you get in, you're like, all right, I've got these abilities, I can do this shit, I can do that shit. It definitely is a slower snowball.
Yeah, but you see, the mechanic in Heroes is similar, where is also it's shared experience.
Yeah. And
So-
you don't have to last hit either.
Yeah, but each talent tier, where like say you reach where your team reaches level 4, then you get your first talent tier. Then everyone on your team gets a talent pick, whereas everybody in the other team might still be behind. So it's like, and then all of a sudden, if your team gets level 4 and the other team's level 3, that's not too big of a deal as far as like level wise. You could still fight for an objective, and each map has a different objective, which is also cool. It's like each map is different in the mercenary camps, but also the objective, but also the size. So depending on the
size
map,
does matter.
Yeah, the size really does matter. Ladies will can test that point. But the point is to be like, there'll be times just like, all right, we can't team fight for this objective right now because they have level 16 and we're only at level 15. And it's like,
So they got their ultimates.
so they'll have their level 16 talent tiers. And so it's like, all right, your team might decide like, all right, instead of fighting for this objective point, we'll just give it to them and then we'll push all of our lanes in really hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just a different mechanic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're different games, but they cater to different audiences too.
Yeah, they cater for different audience. For me, the appeal of Heroes is it's a similar mechanic, but it's more emphasized on team fighting and wasting less time running back and forth. And like, for instance, you don't get gold from clearing waves, so you're never gonna get in trouble for clearing a wave like, too fast for the most part. Now, that I say that slightly because in each wave, one minion drops a region globe, and some heroes that are trying to collect region globes for like a quest for one of their abilities or something like that. So there might be sometimes where you'll be like, hey, quick, come down to center lane. I got a region globe for you or something like that. But for the most part, you're not penalized for killing minions too quickly. You really, you know what I mean?
That makes sense. Yeah.
The main thing is team fights. Like it's like the team fights are a big deal. Or like say your hero's really good at pushing a lane in, so it's like, all right, you need your team needs to be able to hold their own 4 versus 5 while you have one guy who's split pushing, creating more havoc. You know what I mean? And then also like the towers can run out of ammunition. So if you push a lane really hard, then that lane can run out of ammunition, and then
you
all
can
of a sudden,
siege for free.
Yeah, then you can siege. Yeah. So it's like I don't know. It's just different mechanics, and they keep coming out with different maps, and so they have some maps that are more like League, where you have like a jungler type character, where who goes for the camps more frequently, but it just depends. It's all right. But the point is,
I didn't ruin your perfectly pristine desk.
Yeah. The point is they're both like team based, strategy based games, and they're insanely popular on a world stage.
Yeah.
So, I like all of them, and I'm a huge on the art side of things.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I've done like character skin designs for League as well.
Nice.
In fact, since you're a League fan, I should show you. But I did a Kalista skin design.
Nice.
I came up with an Anubis, a female Anubis Kalista. Here, I'll show you right now. Gavin, if you want to segue while I'm finding this.
You can, by the way, Gavin, you can try our cigars. So you get a
sure.
get
That'd be
a variety of flavors.
Yeah, we're pretty good at not getting our shit.
I would say, your
salivating.
cigar, the Brick House, is leathery, peppery spice.
Definitely got the pepper. I definitely got like I guess leathery is a good word for it, yeah. Which is probably why that's the word you used. But
This is
try
like
the other ones. You'll get some
Kalista
interesting
skin.
flavors.
oh shit, that's dope. That's really cool. I've been wanting to do some different skin designs for League for a while now, but I always I have too many hobbies. You know, I've been playing guitar for 12 years, but I also love drawing and I love playing video games, and I end up getting caught up with, I'll start a drawing, I won't finish it because then I'll go start recording a song, and then, I'll leave that off to go play some video games, shit like that.
But it started out with like rougher sketch.
Rough sketch, yeah.
But yeah,
awesome.
with this design, what it was is for people who don't know, what is it? Kalista in League of Legends. I was looking at, it was for a animation portfolio I was making because I was applying to graduate schools, and I was looking. I had done a skin design for a Heroes of the Storm character, a couple actually. His name's Gazlo. He's a World of Warcraft. I'll show you later, but
Old WoW guy.
yeah. Anyways, but Kalista in League of Legends was like a fallen warrioress character where she's like a spirit because she's a killed warrior.
You want me to hit you with the hard lore because I can unload that lore.
I'm glad you know the lore. I'll give the sum up version, and if I got any details wrong, for sure. Essentially, the way I recognized it was she was a warrior, but she died. But she's like such a powerful warrior that her spirit lived on to continue the fight, and so she's like this spirit character where she's got these spears stuck through her.
She was betrayed.
Yeah, she's got all these spears stuck in her, and she throws spears, and she's got these spears stuck in her, and so she like kind of takes the spears out and throws them back. But she's a spirit, and so I was looking. I'm like, all right, what's I had never done. I tend in theater school. I developed a curiosity for different cultures and different art styles, and theater design really kind of gets you into the research element of design.
Yeah, yep.
And so I was like, okay, I have researched some of these other older European cultures. I haven't researched Egyptian kind of art and culture that much. And so I wanted to do an Egyptian-themed kind of character design. And I looked at Kalista, and I saw that she hadn't had any character skin designs already that I was immediately drawn to. And I wanted to do something Egyptian. I saw this fallen warrior chick, Kalista, and then I looked at Anubis, who was like the Egyptian god of death and of, I think, war.
Side note, there is a character based on Anubis, actually, named Nasus, but continue.
Anyways, so I was mainly just looking for an excuse to research Egyptian kind of art.
Yeah.
And I noticed that Anubis, the Egyptian god of death or war, might work well with this Kalista character. So I went with her being an Anubis, which is like a jackal-headed demigod or god. And the thing is, Anubis is usually male, so it was like kind of a unique kind of design where I had to make Anubis a female,
Right.
and then I had to make her this with the spear stuck in her. And Egyptians, they used spears. It's they're old enough culture, so that worked. And I had a lot of fun with it.
That's awesome. I need to get back into drawing. I brought all my shit actually, all my art stuff. Brought them in for the kids. I showed them. We were doing animals. We talked about someone said panda. Someone said anaconda, and I was like, fun fact. I once drew a pandaconda, which is it's a picture of it.
A pandaconda.
Pandaconda.
That is a pretty good drawing. That's a really good drawing.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. I did.
Show the camera.
Good inking.
It was, where we at?
Ink work is not easy.
Yeah, that's the.
It's kinda-
I show the GoPro too. Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah, there
I don't know
you
if
go.
you guys can
Yeah, they can see it.
see
That's
that,
good.
but
Nice.
yeah, it's it was cool. I had just gotten a set of like fine liner ink pens that I had never really used before, so I got super into those for a while, which I really like.
Which are yours?
More sort of comic book stylized stuff that ended up doing a few more with those. I love watercolor and I like stylizing stuff, so I did something like that, which was
Like that with their hands.
yeah. There's
It's like a galaxy kind of hand.
that yeah exactly that was the
She's
idea.
got like the cosmos in her hands.
There's again, I don't know if it'll do that, but the it's super cool to do like watercolor stuff where you get like that really, you can get really washy with it and really textural, and then you use like the ink lines to sharpen everything up, and you've got this textural washy kind of coloration to it, and then it's just sharply outlined by the ink stuff. I really like that contrast.
With this, this is the Gazlo skin design I did. Gazlo, if you're not aware, is a character in Heroes of the Storm or World of Warcraft where he's like a goblin and he's got a my speaker on the other side of my room is out of batteries apparently. has nothing to do with this podcast, but loudly notified me. Thank you. But Gazzo's a goblin, and he's got the way he fights is he carries a robot on his back, and then the robot, he controls the robot, and the robot can punch or fight, and then has like a laser. But in the game, he's my favorite character, and here's the Storm. The reason why I like him is because he could put down these turrets that are really good at like you put these turrets down, and then it kind of limits the movement and the mobility of the enemies. They call it zoning. They really zone. You get enough turrets down, the enemy team really has to worry about diving you because it's like you're zoning really well. And so it's what I thought about when I saw the character is they have a couple different skins for him where he's like a mad Martian kind of underwater nautical thing where he's like an underwater diver from like the late 1800s, and then he's
like
got
the big daddies from BioShock.
Yeah, kind of like that. They have that skin, and they also have like a big. They call it the big top, where he's like kind of like a Jack in the Box themed character, where the robot on his back is a Jack in the Box.
That's pretty cool.
And those are cool skin designs. But I always thought, I'm like, you put down these gun turrets. I was just like, you know what? I think we should do a like 18th century naval admiral. So I came up with this kind of Victorian-esque admiral skin design where he puts down these like gun turrets that look like they're from the tops of battleships in the 1800s, and he's got some late 19th century ornamentation on him and stuff like that. So, and instead of punching with normal clock hands, he's got these hands that also become anchors. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's like they become a good punching apparatus and clamping apparatus. So what freaks people out is I spent 2 months on that. Like 2 full working months drawing that because I had to teach myself how to do everything. And I did that 100% digitally, essentially. I had to teach myself perspective. I had to teach myself lighting theory, color theory. The only thing I really had going into that design was a attuned adeptitude for research and kind of just being able to research different artistic aesthetics. You know what I mean? Like I could take research of a certain period and apply it to a drawing, but it took a lot of work. Also, he's got I wanted to make it look like the bow of a ship in the front of the robot.
You nailed that, by the way.
Thank you, sir. And what is it? The ship opens and it becomes like a laser on the inside.
Nice.
Yeah. So in this particular drawing, you don't see a laser, but it would open up and it became like an extra powerful cannon on the inside of him.
You guys can see like the right there. You've got the bow of the ship with the what's the word for that? The kind of crest they put on the front of the ship.
Yeah.
What do they call that?
Yeah.
They always put some sort of statue on the front of a ship.
Yeah, you've got the Titanic.
Yeah.
What the fuck is their name for that?
Yeah, I should know that, but I forgot.
No, that's awesome. That's the thing. Like, as you can see from all my stuff, like, you know, I can do detail work, I can do the painting and stuff, but I suck at doing full backgrounds and perspective. That's why, like, the only stuff I have that have backgrounds are really simple, like comic book style backgrounds.
That is quite good. I didn't know you could draw, sir.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, it's the other thing I'm into, but it's if I don't know if I have any.
Is that just gonna keep going and going and going?
It might.
Here, I'll go turn it off.
Yeah,
real quick.
turn that speaker.
I gotta take a piss, anyways. Like, you could change the subject. We've been
Yeah,
you guys
talking
have
video game.
You guys
nonsense.
been nerding out.
You've been
Tell
a
us
quiet
more.
dude.
No, that's good. I'm more of a shooter kind of guy.
Shooter guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Dig
shooters.
that.
I don't know, like Garrett's always giving me shit because he wants to play Heroes of the Storm,
Yeah.
and I want to play shooters, right?
Right.
So in Korea, PC bongs
What's
are
up? Yeah.
crazy popular.
Yep.
Do you know bong?
It's just like a room where you do
bong
stuff.
is room in Korean. So PC bong means PC room, just like a nore bong. Nore means to sing. So sing room,
Yep,
nore
sing
bong.
room, PC room. Yep.
So yeah, PC bongs are super popular. They're basically like PC cafes. You like play video games and stuff. They're everywhere, like everywhere.
And literally,
you go to
5 a block on
yeah,
each
you
block.
go
It's nuts.
any block in any city in Korea and you do a 360, you're gonna see at least one PC bong, maybe
Oh, yeah.
2 or 3 on every single corner.
Absolutely.
And they are dirt cheap. Have you ever
Yeah,
been to
it's,
one?
it's like $1 an hour.
It's like $1 an hour. Yeah.
And here's the thing, like they're so popular that it's not, in the States or somewhere else where the sort of esports and gaming culture is more of like a fringe culture, I guess.
Very fringe.
Here it's very
It's in your face.
it's a very mainstream thing. So you go to
Yeah.
a PC bong, they've got they're decked out. You got high-end gaming computers, nice chairs, but you can go in there, you can be on your computer and order food to your computer.
Oh, yeah.
From your computer. Just hang out there for people go there, they go
They
after
just stay there
school,
all
they
day.
go- yeah.
Yeah. And what's cool about Korea is it's not just PC bongs you can get food delivered. You get food delivered anywhere.
Anywhere.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, clearly at your house, obviously, like in Korea, you can get McDonald's delivered to your house 24/7.
Which is hilarious. I want to try it just for the novelty.
24/7, right? And you like if you're at the park,
Yeah.
like it's very popular in Korea to go
really?
to parks. Yeah. It's there's parks everywhere in Korea. It's one of the things that I like about Korea a lot. Is there's a lot of outdoor public space, and you can get food delivered to the park.
That's amazing.
Well, the driver will call you and be like, "Hey, I mean, he speaks Korean, so hopefully, you speak Korean. Hey, Garrett, can you make sure that tripod doesn't fall? That's like really close to the table. Yeah, there you go.
Cool
what was
if I
it?
shift this a little bit.
Yeah. So you're in there. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Solid.
But you can get food delivered to you at the park, and there'll be
Is there any,
hundreds of
Do you
people
have
at the
another
park.
one of those? Word.
But yeah, PC bongs are awesome because they're so cheap and they have every game
Yep.
that you really want to play. But I always want to play shooters,
Sure. Either way.
I don't know what you get. That's just what I
and Garrett always wants to
I've actually
play.
never had Aussie.
It's good.
Japanese beer.
So yeah, I like shooters. Anyway, but on the beer note, when I first got to Korea, Garrett and I were super into beer for a while. We used to brew at our house.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I love beer. I could
Yeah,
go for beer.
brewing at your house is pretty fun. It's a lot of work, but it's pretty cool. You get to learn how the whole, beer's made and stuff. And then as a side note, you get to learn how alcohol in general is made. And then you're like, okay, well, I know how to make beer. How do you make a spirit? And you're
Right,
like, oh, you have to make basically a beer, and then you have to distill the beer
From the
right
mash,
from the
yeah.
mash. Where the mash is basically the same process as making beer.
Right.
Just different ingredients. But we were really into beers. So when I first got to Korea, I was like, okay, I want to get all of the Korean beers and all of the Japanese beers. There wasn't any. There is Chinese beer sold in Korea, but it's not that much. It's mostly like Korean beers and Japanese beers. So I got all of them. And had me a blind taste testing. I was just bored. It was like my first 2 weeks in Korea. I was living in my boss's house.
Oh, that sounds like
And
fun.
no, I mean it's not. It was
That
kind
was sarcasm.
of yeah, yeah. I mean, my boss is
Weird
like
you thought that.
yeah, weird.
This guy likes to hang out with his boss.
No, but my boss is like a very loving mother of two. She was just
totally
like
went out.
just like living at your
Oh,
house.
yeah, here.
There you go. But I did these.
Different process related.
I'll light real quick.
Yeah.
Continue, Gavin.
Maybe ash it real quick, ash it fairly well before you relight.
Yeah. But no, from
Yeah,
these
there you go.
blind taste tests, I determined for me that acai was my favorite. I might be saying that wrong, but it's my favorite beer.
Stop appropriating culture, dude.
Out of the Korean and Japanese beer, definitely acai is my favorite. They're awesome.
Yeah, it's not bad. It tastes kind of like Cloud, which in my opinion of the Korean beers is the best.
Oh yeah,
I
of
would
the
say
Korean
Cloud
beers,
is my favorite
Of
of
the
the Korean
Korean
beers.
beers,
of the Korean mainstream beers. I mean, there is a lot of Korean craft beer these days.
Yeah, they're getting into
Yeah,
it.
they're
It's-
really, really getting. I've been to 2 or 3 beer festival. I've been to 2 beer festivals this year, and it's only May. So hopefully I'll go to a couple more. But yeah, at these beer festivals, it's 95% only Korean craft beer stalls available. Last year there was Stone there, and I gotta tell you, the Korean craft beer is pretty good. But like Stone came, and they just blew all of the Korean craft beer out of the fucking water. Not even close. Not even close. Like me and my girlfriend, who's Korean, we tried all the Korean craft beer. We're like, yeah, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. We didn't have any beer that we didn't like, and then both of us tried the Stone. Stone Brewery is in San Diego, California. We had the Stone, and we're like, get the fuck out of here, Korea. Stone is dropping bombs. Stone Brewery is just destroying the Korean craft beer. So, I mean, but that makes sense because the craft
they're
beer
new to it.
in Korea is like a new thing.
Brand new scene, yeah.
Yeah. Even though I've only been here 3.5 years, like I've seen craft beer come leaps and bounds.
That's
in
really
Korea.
cool though to like watch that scene grow.
Oh
and be
yeah.
a part
Same
of
thing
it.
with like juicing. Like 3 years ago, there were no juice stops anywhere. Like I'm a big fan of like a green juice or a green smoothie. 3 years ago, good luck finding that in Korea. You have to make it at your house, or you just can get it. Now you can make it at your house still, obviously, but you can find juice stops all over the place.
Yeah, there's one across from my building.
Yeah,
from my
it's
school.
awesome. Yeah. So, it's crazy how fast things change in Korea.
They're like one of the most capitalist societies
Yeah.
on the world.
You can start a business
world right
super
now.
easily. In
Yeah,
Korea.
I mean, that's one of the things that drew me to it. Not the capitalism part, but how quickly the place evolves, you know?
Later.
But I guess that happens when, like, 60, 70 years ago, they were this borderline third world country ravaged by a civil war. Then in 60 years, they went from that to being this technological, economic powerhouse that's like on the leading edge of innovation and tech. It's
They're also a cultural powerhouse for all of Asia.
absolutely, yeah.
One thing that I thought was super interesting was after the Korean War, South Korea was, I've been told but I've also been told the poorest country in the world. I don't know if it was the poorest country in the
Can't
world.
be in the world because you've always got those like
You
sub-Saharan
got those,
African
you got those African
landlocked
countries and stuff. But like just after just after the Korean War, South Korea was like I said, one of, if not the poorest countries in the world.
Yeah.
And now it's kicking
incredible.
ass. You know what I mean?
I mean-
There's some industries that South Korea does better than any other country in the world. For example, shipping or esports. You know what I mean? Like esports and shipping. Like Korea's the number one, and some would argue that esports is the most rapidly becoming popularized sport, and it has the potential of being like the biggest sport in the entire world. If not, maybe some would argue it already is because everybody fucking plays video games.
And it's global too.
Yeah, it's global as fuck.
know.
So they're saying so Korea, and also shipping, like they make the best ships, the biggest ships.
Telecom too. They're telecom monsters. There's a reason you can't come here and get an AT&T phone. It's because they're so good, and granted, they already got crowded out by other places being earlier. But there's a reason you can't get AT&T or Verizon here. It's because their telecom industry is so robust that you just can't break into it. I mean, we've got the fastest internet in the world in Seoul.
Yeah.
I was listening to that video of the interview with Elon Musk on TED that this guy sent me. We're both big Elon Musk Tesla fanboys.
I fucking love Elon Musk.
Yeah, the guy's gonna save the world and definitely America. And he's from South Africa.
They say he's from South Africa. I think he's from one of two places.
He's from Mars.
He's from.
He's
the
definitely trying to
future-
get home.
He's from the future, or he's from space. Like he's from one of those two places.
He's
trying
an
to get home.
alien trying to fit in with this backstory saying he's from South Africa, but I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it. No, I mean, do you have hair that good in South Africa? It's fucking hot and humid.
First of all, he was bald as fuck only 10 years
What?
ago. Yeah, there's
Technology.
he's
Yeah.
reverse aging.
Yeah, he's
That's
reverse-
Martian tech
like
that we don't have yet.
When he invented PayPal, there's pictures of him being like, "Yo, I invented PayPal," and it's like he's skinny as fuck and bald as fuck, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, you filled out, you look like a man now, and you somehow grew hair. It's like, oh, okay, well, if you're a billionaire, you can afford some shit to get
He's
your
like,
hair back.
well, I grow my hair on my rooftop garden using entirely recyclable materials.
Yeah. What is it? I saw a funny meme of him where it's like it shows him zip lining, and a picture of him in like the stupid zip line harness and helmet, and it shows him with this same like smug, and the meme is just like ziplining. The humans are going crazy about it. The humans like it, you say? Well, I will give it a go. And it shows him just like, I will try this zipline thing you tell me.
There's a subreddit called Totally Not Robots where it's just shit like that. It's people like, I'm a human. I like doing these things.
But we're big fanboys of Elon and all that he's creating. And Tesla is the future. Well, not Tesla's the future, but that the industry of Tesla is the future, and electronic cars and all that shit. And I just like the fact that, I mean, we're both motorcycle enthusiasts.
Okay.
So the fact that, like, if you are a motorcycle enthusiast and you're American, everyone's just like, well, you got to ride a Harley, bro. And it's just like, well, I also kind of hate the Harley culture. Like, the fact, like,
the aesthetic.
Yeah, and the aesthetics. Yeah, the idea that, like, oh, if you're gonna ride a motorcycle, you have to be like a 40-year-old man who's like looking for one last thrill before your daughter graduates college or something like that. You know,
I do like some Harley bikes. They have worked on their image a little bit. Like they've catered their bikes to be slightly. I mean, they're not. I've never seen like a cafe racer Harley, but I have seen some slightly cafe racer-esque Harleys where like the handlebars are small and you don't lean forward, but you don't have your arms all up and you don't lean back. And yes, there are some Harleys that are pretty dope, but they're not my thing. I've been following electric motorcycles. Like, as you know, I'm fucking obsessed.
Tell me about electric skateboards.
I mean, this guy Gavin met me today, and like he already knows I'm fucking obsessed with electric skateboards. I'm also obsessed with basically anything and everything that's electric transportation. So electric cars, I'm obsessed. Electric skateboards, electric bicycles, electric fucking motorcycles. I'm obsessed with all of them, and I want to get an electric motorcycle as soon as I can. The problem is, for some goddamn reason, Korea is like the last market for anything electric, it seems.
The biggest coal consumer in the world.
No, but I mean, Korea is very, very environmentally conscious.
That's
like
true.
they're building Sokcho, which is like this crazy new city that's everything's done in a, with the idea of, conservation and
I heard about
what's
that,
the
actually.
fucking word I'm looking for?
Renewable,
but also sustainable.
So,
it's a sustainable city. Like they're building this city with sustainability in mind.
It's also like self-sustainable, right?
Yeah,
Everything
it's
feeds
awesome.
back into it.
Yeah, it's super super smart. You got to look into Sokcho if you don't know about it. It's awesome.
it's like it's on the poster for the city of the future.
Right. It's like
So they kind of advertised it as.
Yeah.
City of the future, right? So that's dope. And they are very green environmentally. But what I'm talking about is like just the market of Korea in Asia seems to be like the last fucking market for shit like Tesla or electric vehicles for some reason. Like, for example, Tesla cars. First they went to China. Well, first they came out in America, obviously. And then they went to China. And then they went to Japan. And then
they went to America, then Europe.
well, obviously, I just skipped
In
that
terms
because
of Asia, I think he means.
I just skipped that because it was obvious. When it comes to Asia, they went to China first because it's the biggest market, and then they went to Japan, and then they went to Korea. Same thing with Zero Motorcycles. Zero Motorcycles is an electric motorcycle company based out of California, and they're fucking awesome. Like, they are awesome. Like, they have a dope lineup of bikes. They with different bikes for different categories, like different needs. If you want to go really fucking fast, they got a sport bike.
Right.
If you want like a city bike, they got like a city bike. If you want like off road, they got off road, dual off road, on road, all that shit, and they're dope. And you can buy them in America, you can buy them in Europe, you could buy them in fucking China. You could buy them in Japan. You could even buy them in Thailand and fucking Taiwan. But it's like, when the fuck are you going to come to Korea? Like, why is Korea always the last goddamn market? Same thing with Tesla. Tesla's everywhere, but they're not in Korea yet. They're coming to Korea like this year or next year. Like I've already seen Tesla cars in Korea, but they're only test driving cars. Like they have an office in Korea and you can test drive a Tesla and you can like pre-order one. But they don't have, like I haven't seen like Teslas with people. The only Tesla I saw was the Model S and it said test driving vehicle only.
It's funny how
So,
much floating capital they
Immediately
must have.
stayed in your memory forever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
forever. I freaked the fuck out. I was on my electric skateboard and I'm like, is that a Tesla? And it said like test driving. And I immediately went home and I Googled, is Tesla in Korea yet? And it's like, no, they do have an office, but it's only for test driving only, and you could pre-order and blah blah blah. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I mean, they got some really cool shit electric car wise going in Korea. So for example, they do have some electric buses. And they do have
That's pretty dope.
They do
taxis,
have
right?
They have electric taxis, and one thing that really freaked me the fuck out is they have the all electric Kia and they have an all electric Hyundai, and they have an all electric Renault. Now Renault is a French car manufacturer, but in Korea they have a Samsung Renault. It's like Samsung and it's like Samsung is in bed with Renault in Korea. So there's a Renault factory that's
Samsung's in bed with fucking everyone.
Samsung's like the
and
fucking
everything.
biggest goddamn company ever. Like Samsung built the Wes Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, is built by Samsung. When you think of Samsung, you don't think, oh,
Burj
they
Khalifa?
build Burj Khalifa. That's what I meant.
Wiz Khalifa.
Wes Khalifa. He's that a fucking rapper.
That's a rapper.
That's a rapper.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Same shit. Same shit.
Hey, you know what I mean.
They made his career.
They made his
Samsung made Wiz
marketed
Khalifa.
the fuck out of that. Right? No, but yeah. So Samsung's crazy, but they have the Samsung Renault, and that's an all electric car, and they have Samsung Renault taxis, all 100% electric taxis in Korea. So if you ever see a sky blue taxi,
Yeah.
that's electric.
That's awesome.
And it's the same price as any other taxi. And what really freaked me the fuck out was the other day I saw a Hyundai sky blue taxi. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Now we have two sky blue 100% electric taxis
Oh, no,
in
I'm
Korea
sorry.
from two different manufacturers in Korea. We got Renault.
Now we
Samsung.
just gotta change that fucking color. Who wants a sky blue car?
Dude, I would drive
It's
the fuck
not
out of a sky blue
no,
car.
dude.
What?
It's
Fuck
it's
you.
a taxi.
Yeah, does it have a giant twisty turny knob on the back? Like
It's
for
a taxi.
5-year-olds?
Just to wind it up.
Just
Yeah.
to wind it up. Fucking
Hey,
toy.
It's
Dude,
a taxi. You wouldn't buy it sky blue. It's a taxi.
You know
it
what
stands out.
You know what I've
It's
seen
Awesome.
fucking everywhere though? If you look at a red light, 3 of the cars, at least at the red light, are the fucking, it's a Kia, it's a Cube, and it's sky blue. It's like a slightly desaturated sky blue bordering on teal. But you see them, you know what I'm talking about?
I'm impressed with your color theory. That's what I'm in. That's what I'm thinking.
Teal.
I heard slightly desaturated. I heard teal, and I'm like, this guy knows what he's fucking talking about.
I mean, I try.
I literally had a lesson about saturation and desaturation with one of my kids because I was mainly bored.
Yeah, me too, bro. On Instagram.
But what is it? Not
Instagram feminist.
If you had a point, please wrap it up because I actually finally, that's essentially done. I finally remembered why I brought up Elon Musk.
Yeah,
So-
lay it on me.
Okay,
Because
so
you decided you're gay.
Well, no,
And then tell me, lay it on me, and then tell me about Elon Musk, because I'm mostly referring to your wiener.
we were talking about. I brought up Elon Musk because I was talking about the video that Gavin made when it comes to like tunnel making. In this video that Gavin brought up, we also brought up like how innovative Korea as a city is.
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the fastest internet. Korea has the best public transportation in the world. And man, it's fucking awesome. You can take a train everywhere for $1.50. It's
Train,
it's fucking
taxi,
fantastic.
subway. It's all cheap as fuck.
Dude.
It's everywhere.
yeah.
The first time I got in a taxi, I know you're dying to make your point.
It's not really a point. It's just like it's a broader like idea of shit.
I got you know how there's T money here, which is like if if you're going on a subway, you get your subway card, which are, by the way, fashion capital of the world. Even the subway cards look like they're designer.
They are, and they change. Like
Really?
like the art on the cards
That's
change
aw-
constantly. So
that's
I'm,
cool.
I'm trying to hold on to mine as long as I can.
It's like a collector's card.
Yeah, I feel like they're collector's cards. Like,
I've got this dope purple one with
Nobody
like
cares.
silver little dots and X's. It's fucking cool. But you get T money, And it's not just like a subway card. I got in a taxi for the first time, and I take out my wallet. I'm about to give him cash, and I see this little square on the fucking middle dash thing. If that said T-money on it, I lost it. I was like, "Are you telling me I can just tap my wallet on here?"
Yep.
And I
Same
did,
as-
and I got out, and I didn't shut up about it for a week.
Yeah. You could T-Money pays for buses, taxis,
Amazing.
and subway.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, where you
anyways,
going?
so Gavin and I are from Los Angeles and from the greater Los Angeles district of SoCal, and I spent all of my initial adult life in Los Angeles. I went to college in Los Angeles, and I love the city. Now, the drawbacks of the city, as everybody in the world knows, because everybody from Los Angeles complains about it, is the traffic and the 401 specifically. And what is it? A lot of the latest shit that Elon Musk talks about is like the Hyperloop, which is like the future, which is like a futuristic mode of transportation that has been theorized for I think since the late 1800s, but never like practically implemented. Yeah, but he always brings up some crazy new wave of transportation shit. Because Elon Musk moved to Los Angeles and he's stuck in the fucking traffic, and he fucking is stuck in the same bullshit traffic that everybody from Los Angeles is stuck in, except for Gavin and I, because we drove motorcycles. And so we're just like, you can think about your Hyperloop. We're gonna fucking go right past you. Anyways, but the point is in this link that Gavin sent me. Of Elon Musk talking on TED was about creating new underground tunnels for transportation. And I'm just like, oh, and now I live in Korea. I'm just like, oh, like a fucking subway? Whoa, fucking innovative.
Crazy.
Who needed fucking Elon Musk to tell us about a subway? You know what I mean? But I'm like watching this interview, and he's acting like, Elon Musk, everything he says with importance and with weight. And
He is a phenomenal orator.
he's phenomenally bad at orator. Like, he's phenomenally good, but also bad. He sounds like an alien.
He stutters like constantly.
Yeah, he stutters, but he stutters on like insanely fucking amazing
He's like,
points.
but
Yeah,
but like like what it's not efficient. So
right.
what we need, and like he has great points, but he stutters like crazy.
He's so like my thing about, and you know what? And part of it might just be because he's Elon Musk and everyone knows he's Elon Musk.
That's why.
But he does a great job of, he stutters, but he says things in a way that it feels important no matter what. He could tell you that his dog took a shit in his backyard and it was on his daisies that he just planted, so he's real upset, but then it composted and his daisies were great. And
You understand everything. Like he'll explain things, he'll dumb it down on layman's terms for everybody to understand.
but it doesn't feel like he's patronizing you.
No, like he talks to you as if you're an equal, even though we are clearly not aliens like he is.
Aliens from the future.
he's trying to get home.
It's always.
But I mean, when you look at Elon Musk's public speaking skills versus like someone like Obama or Steve Jobs,
him so much.
like Steve Jobs as
He was
a
a cult
public
of
speaker
personality.
is fucking better when it comes to how smooth
Absolutely.
he is. You know what I mean? But Elon Musk, you could tell he's just a fucking mad genius, and he's just trying to compact his crazy mad genius thoughts into a way that we can digest. And that's, whereas like Steve Jobs is kind of like a master salesman.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And design.
Yeah,
element,
So that's why I like Elon Musk. And even though he stutters like crazy, nobody fucking cares, because they're like, no, we understand why you're stuttering, because you are trying to dumb it down for us.
You know who does a really good job of meshing that is Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh yeah, him
'Cause
too. He's good.
People. The thing is, he's so good at it that people almost just think he's like a pop scientist.
Oh yeah.
But he's really one of, he's a cutting edge astrophysicist, but he's so good at making it not patronizing, but like really understandable, and doing it in a way that like it's fun. Like you're like, shit, this is a dude I could hang out with.
It's
or
like
we
a
could kick it.
casual conversation, not like a lecture.
Absolutely.
Where you need to feel like you're gonna fail the final.
Yeah.
If you're not taking notes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But in that talk, what is it? So like I said, Elon's talking about fucking subways essentially, and I'm just like, whoa, fucking Elon breaking the fucking bank on intellectual.
Oh, don't put your foot on the
Fucking-
bed.
Yeah, careful on the
My bad.
wob the camera. It's all right.
Sorry about that.
There was an earthquake in Korea for the first time ever, but
Yeah,
we
woo,
survived
crazy.
it. Anyways, but he's talking about essentially underground tunnels in LA, and I'm just like, yeah, the fucking subway. We could use one in LA. Most of the world agrees. And but what he was talking about was, so he breaks it down for why there aren't subways in LA, and he makes he makes a reasonable understanding of like the cost and like why we haven't done it already. And he was talking about like how expensive it is and how quickly you can dig underground tunnels and for things like subways and stuff like that, and underground tunneling equipment and the efficiency of how long it takes to dig a tunnel, and then how long it takes for the machinery to backtrack and fortify the tunnel that the machine just dug and shit like that. And he's talking about how like we need to increase the efficiency of by having the machine implement fortification while it moves forward and stuff like that.
A machine that does multiple things.
Yeah, a machine
at
that
the same time.
fortifies while it moves forward instead of
Or reinforces might be a better word.
reinforces and seals the tunnel as it moves forward.
Right.
Shit like that. And the reason why he's brilliant is I think in my terms, in my limited abilities, is because in my mind I thought obviously tunnel making machinery does that already. Like a machine that digs a tunnel will obviously automatically fortify the tunnel while it does it. That's what I would think. Turns out until I watched this fucking talk of his, that's not the case. Like, and you're like, oh, no wonder it's so inefficient. No wonder there aren't tunnels already being made all over the place, because the machinery isn't at that level. And so what I wonder is, is it the same situation in Korea? Because there's underground tunnels all through Korea in Seoul. And it's like, if it's doable here, why isn't it doable there? And then he talked, and he didn't bring up Korea, which I was kind of bummed out about, because maybe he doesn't know, or maybe the technology's the same, but and Korea is just more devout on spending that money to get those tunnels made or something like that. But it's like the subways in Korea are all, for the most part, underground, and they're all tunnels, and they're all fortified, and they're all safe, and they're all fucking new age. But then he's talking about how what's holding us back in Los Angeles from digging these underground subways is the tunnel making machinery. And so he derived this whole new system that's pretty fucking crazy and awesome for increasing the efficiency of tunnel making and car transportation by all these different measures of like tens. You know what I mean? He's like we need to make the tunnel making abilities like 10 times as efficient. You know, one way you could do that is by increasing the efficiency of the machinery that digs the tunnels, by making them move forward but also fortify at the same time.
On the backside.
He's like, another way is you can decrease the size of the tunnel by putting the cars on tracks, so that the cars
electrically propelled
tracks, so that the cars don't need as much of as big of an entry point to the tunnels, as well as they don't need as bigger size of the tunnels, because you don't need an offside lane.
Right.
Well, if a car breaks down.
He was also talking about combustion engine cars need a certain volume for ventilation, because it's toxic fumes. I mean, if you lock yourself in a garage with a car that's turned on, you're going to die, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a tunnel full of automobiles using combustion engines, you need a certain amount of ventilation. Whereas if you had an electric track, so if let's say you did have a combustion engine car and you put it on an electric track, you could turn your car off. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
while it's on the track.
While it's on the track, or you could have just a pure electric car on a electric track. So if you don't have to worry about the ventilation, then you can make the tunnel smaller, and if it's smaller, then you can, it's more efficient. You can dig faster and all that stuff. So he's just a logical fucking dude. He's like, okay, what is the expenses, and why do we need those expenses? And what can we do to mitigate? I mean, this is the guy that made rockets, way more cost effective, and the way he does it, the way he lays it out is just so logical.
The thing
You know what
about
I mean?
him, and that's one of my favorite things is like with a lot of really high level intellectuals like that, like I feel like they feel like they need to be saying shit that is like, right? But there's, and I'm sure he's got an ego. I don't know him personally, but
Everyone has an ego.
everyone's got an ego. But he's unpretentious about what he decides to pursue, right? Like, this is a man who's building rockets to go to Mars in the next 15 years, but he doesn't feel like he's above other, quote unquote simple issues. Building tunnels, it's literally not rocket science, but he doesn't feel like he's above it. He doesn't feel like he needs to only talk about shit that's going to be, way in the future. He can manage to do both of those without feeling like he's, people like, oh, I need to use my intellect on the next thing. But he doesn't have a preoccupation with that. He can do things that are simple or common at the same time as he's doing those other things. And I think his lack of ego and his unpretentiousness makes him that much more
Awesome.
and also productive in terms of things that are actually useful.
Right.
Well, also, and the final point, because the camera just died, if you guys want to make more points, that's fine. But what is it? Another thing I think is brilliant about him is that, like, Americans, myself, I don't know about you. You grew up in Connecticut. you said?
Yeah.
What is it? We were kind of raised to believe that NASA is this organization of super intelligent people, like superhumans. And I know I dealt with this when I got to university. Growing up, you think that the professors are these brilliant people that are only in the positions that they are in because they're rare intellects, and so you will never hope to compete with them intellectually. And then you hear about this guy Elon Musk, who's just like, NASA is so inefficient. I'm gonna build this company that's just fucking way better at making rockets than NASA. And I'm just like, how did you even conceive that thought that you can make rockets better than NASA, because they wrote the book on making rockets, and they're just an organization of these brilliant intellects. And then I watched a couple breakdowns on why SpaceX is so much more efficient and all this stuff, and realized like, oh, okay, that's quite logical that you think like you can make rockets more efficiently than NASA, because NASA was created by the government. Like, you have, the space shuttle is created by 20 different states, or like this state will create this part and this state will create this part, and then they all have to put these parts of the space shuttle on these train tracks, and they have to ship them to this part to be assembled. And you realize like, oh yeah, that is horribly inefficient. But I feel like it takes a non-American almost to think, to have that idea of questioning. It's like, is this the most? Is NASA this organization of superhumans, or is it just an organization of humans, and can we do it better? And then you do just a very not too deep of a search on like the way that shit's done. And you realize like that's not the most efficient way.
Yeah.
And it can be explained quite simply, but it takes just that questioning ethic just to be able to even come up with that idea.
Yeah, and I think again, like, that's a combination of ego and lack of ego, right? He's like, all right, I'm smart enough where I don't feel threatened by this, but I'm down to earth enough, ironically, down to earth enough.
Away from Mars enough.
Away from Mars, away from home enough to see that, like, yeah, I mean, they're smart, but there's, there's still people and there's things that they can do. The other thing is he's just thoroughly encourages innovation. Like, he's he has cash rewards that he's set for people who like. He's like the first independent, non-governmental organization that gets on another planet. I'll give him $1 million. Or what was that? Like $100 million. So he's outside of himself. Almost against his own interest, encouraging innovation even in competitors, just because he appreciates the spirit of innovation and he wants to encourage that.
He definitely like he's forward thinking when it comes to his patent beliefs. Like he'll like release his patents for his products, and people are like, "Yo, your shareholders, they might not like that." And he's like, "Well, I've been very upfront saying that, like, yo, the purpose of Tesla is not to be the only and the best electric car company. It's to, make the adoption of electric cars more rapid worldwide."
He's super
and
transparent.
so by doing that, he's like, "I'm going to make it transparent so everyone can see what we're doing and everyone can replicate it." So that's very forward thinking. But also the thing that
He's like, on Mars, we don't have money and everyone does things together, so that no patents.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I thought was so crazy about Elon Musk is, he is very logical. He is very forward thinking and all that stuff, but he is a fucking mad genius. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
Like, for example, like he sits in traffic. He's frustrated like everybody else. He develops the fucking Hyperloop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's him sitting in traffic. When we sit in traffic, we don't do that. Also, like when
I sit in traffic, I'm just like, I'm gonna get a motorcycle.
right, when he sits in traffic, he's like, I'm gonna change the goddamn world. There's gotta be a fucking way. There's gotta be a better way. And then also like
on that note, Henry Ford once said, he was like, if someone asked me if I asked a customer what they wanted, they say a faster horse.
Right.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, and then another thing that's crazy is when it comes to being the owner of a rocket company, people were like, they criticize him. They're like, so what is your job title? And he's like, I'm head engineer of SpaceX. They're like, what makes you think you're qualified to be head engineer of a rocket company when you yourself have a degree? Or I think he was studying, but then he dropped out of school in physics. It's like, so what makes you think you could be a head engineer? Like, what do you know about rockets? He's like, well, I read a lot of books, and I read a lot of books. So it's like, oh, you're a head engineer and you don't have a degree in this. You just read a lot of books. And he's like, yeah, well, I read a lot of books. And like the way he says it is like, yeah, so that's what I did. Like, not even like, yeah, I know it's a little bit out of, it's not normal what I did. It's like to him, it's just like, well, I didn't know how to build rockets, so I read some books.
And now I do.
Now I'm fucking head engineer of SpaceX and I'm killing the game. You know what I mean? Like, as you do. Like, it's like the way he says it, it's like, why is this your question? Like, that's not an interesting question.
Why
it's kind of like a no duh. Like, I read some books, I learned how to fucking build rockets better than everybody else. And that's me, like that's just what you would do. Elon Musk, he's a fucking bad motherfucker.
He's gonna save the world.
We gotta end the podcast. We gotta enjoy the rest of our Friday night. It's 12:20. We got friends to meet, so we're gonna end it on that.
Peace.
All right, stories next time.
Next time, amigos. Okay, it's been good. Enjoy your weekend. Peace, motherfuckers.